Thanks for being with us here at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We've got breaking news to bring you out of Salado, Texas. That's about 2 hours to the south of Dallas. We're getting reports of a deadly military helicopter crash in that area. I want to show you some video here of the crash off in the distance there. We know that 2 people were aboard that helicopter and both were pronounced dead. That crash also causing a grass fire, as you can see there in the distance, that has now burned about 100 acres. Crews are still working to put that out, but at last report, it was 0% contained and has led to several evacuations. We heard from officials less than an hour ago who said that they were told about this incident around 1:40 p.m. today. That helicopter did not hit any structures or homes, they say, but authorities said it went down in a violent crash. We have a crew headed out there to the scene. They're going to be feeding back information as they get it here during this hour and subsequent hours. We will hear from them when they arrive later this afternoon. Another developing story we're following this afternoon, a Chico ISD elementary school had to be evacuated to a nearby high school today because a grass fire started in the area there, and there was concern about the smoke getting into the HVAC system there on campus. You can see how close that fire was to that school. Firefighters putting out the hot spots there. That one is now considered to be contained, though. Our Mitty Hicks is in Chico this afternoon. Mitty, we know now that the fire has been brought under control, but what does all of that mean for students?
Well, for students and parents, it means that the pickup time and the location resume as normal. And I'll just have Matt pan behind me. You can see that parents are forming a line to pick up their students from Chico Elementary School. Jason, this was not the case just an hour ago. We arrived here on scene just after 3 p.m. and the road to get to Chico Elementary School was blocked with emergency crews, fire and rescue, police officers, and even the Wise County Sheriff's Department. And you can see on the ground here, you can see why. Just in front of the school, you see this black stuff on the grass here, or this charred grass. This all came from a grass fire earlier today. We're told that emergency crews came on scene or responded on scene just after 2 p.m. and that this fire was pretty vast. It was about 6 or 7 acres. We were told by the fire chief that at least 8 departments across 2 counties responded here on scene to help put out this fire. And as you just mentioned, the main concern for students, the reason why the district moved to evacuate students to the high school was because they were afraid or concerned that smoke would get into the HVAC system. We're told that all the students are accounted for, fire crews are safe, and of course we'll keep you updated as we learn more. Jason, back to you.
All right, Mitty, thank you so much for bringing us that there. Cassie, those flames, you could see it in the overall, you know, when we shot from the helicopter today. I mean, it came right up to that road. You got the school right across the way, and weather conditions have not been favorable for firefighters out there trying to, you know, tamp down these things quickly. Yeah, I mean, the ground, it's just so dry, and we've also had a little bit more wind here recently. Today, we've easily seen wind gusts around 25 miles an hour. Unfortunately, that's going to be the case even more so over the next couple of days as the wind does increase some. We could see wind gusts around 30 to even maybe 35 miles an hour, especially in the Metroplex and areas off to the west. And that's also where we're going to have those temperatures. They're going to be well over 100 degrees, and the humidity is going to stay pretty low as well. So that fire threat will be an issue for the next couple of days at least. This is our DBU camera. In the meantime, you can see how the grass is really starting to just kind of brown and just dry out. Temperature right now of 101 degrees, heat index up to around 105. We're at 102 degrees in Decatur, 104 right now in Mineral Wells, 97 in Mineola. Wind gusts right now coming in out of the south, anywhere between 20 to now 32 miles an hour over in Mineral Wells. Relative humidity anywhere between 25 to nearly 35 miles an hour, especially west of the Metroplex. And satellite radar very clear right now. We stay clear overnight tonight and very warm. We're going to talk about when we could possibly see another chance of rain coming up in just a little bit. Here's the latest traffic with Stacia.
All right, thanks, Cassie. And we are starting right along 635 at Galloway. So the Mesquite area, you can see traffic down to a couple lanes as a result of this accident that's taking up a good portion of the roadway there. So that location, once again, 635 southbound. Looking at that backup, it looks like it is backed up to Garland Road. So that's what we're watching there. And not the only problem we're seeing across the Metroplex. You may also notice a big stretch of red right along I-30 just to the west of downtown Dallas, affecting the eastbound side of I-30 right there at Edgefield. They're actually, this is looking better than it was. They have more lanes open, and it looks like they're getting close to clearing this one, but that is causing a backup. You know, traffic's heavy along this stretch of I-30 eastbound heading into downtown anyway. So again, right there at Edgefield, traffic really slowing down as a result of this collision. Now we're taking a look in the Louisville area. It's another day where they're doing some road work on the express lane. So most of the northbound portion of I-35E express lanes, those are closed through Louisville, and traffic is kind of being forced off once you get into the Louisville area out of those express lanes and forced off into the main lanes. So I would just kind of avoid the express lanes northbound through Louisville until they get that cleared up, because it is causing traffic in that area to build. All right, Jason.
All right, thank you for the heads up on that, Stacia. The Consumer Price Index report was released today. If you feel like you're paying more at the grocery store or for those plane tickets that you've bought, yeah, you're right. Prices on many goods rising, up 3.4% from a year ago overall, despite inflation slightly cooling in the month of July. ABC's Olivia Rubin has the details on what you are paying more or less for right now.
At the grocery store, at the gas station, and at home, prices are rising for Americans. Today, new data on the economy showing inflation eased slightly in July from 3.5% to 3.4%. But that's well above the Federal Reserve's target rate of 2%.
It's a good thing that we don't see that number going up, that inflation isn't accelerating, but it is still above where the Federal Reserve and overall households want inflation to be.
It's costing you more money. The Bureau of Labor Statistics showing prices for fruit and vegetables up 5.1%. Cereal and bakery products up 2.7%, electricity up 4%, and apparel up 3.9%. And gasoline up a whopping 24.6%, surging from the war in Iran. The average price above $4 a gallon, according to Gas Buddy. The cost of some items falling, too. The data showing used cars and truck prices are down nearly 2%. Lettuce down more than 16% amid the deadly cyclosporiasis outbreak. And critically, amid these rising prices, the data showing wages aren't keeping up. Earnings actually decreased 0.2% in July. The Trump administration previously defending its economic record, saying this on CNN.
The bottom line is that if you look at the overall economy, then things are really, really booming.
And recent polls show that Americans are feeling the heat when it comes to the economy. A Reuters Ipsos poll from just 2 weeks ago found that 59% of adults said they view the economy as weak. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
All right, it's now 4:08 in the afternoon. Here are three of today's top headlines that you should know. Right now in the country of Colombia, rescue crews are running out of time. The critical 48 to 72 hour window that is considered the best frame of time to be able to find survivors after an earthquake is quickly closing after that quake hit western Colombia on Monday. Now more than 100 aftershocks have also rattled the country. This is the first real crisis for their new president there. His government now scrambling to get aid to the communities hit the hardest. President Trump's White House makeover could cost more than initially reported, almost $1 billion. The Washington Post reports that taxpayers would cover most of the price tag of at least $927 million, despite earlier claims otherwise that those tax dollars wouldn't have to be used. The Post said that the price tag includes a $600 million East Wing ballroom, which a federal appeals court says cannot move forward any further without Congress signing off. The Los Angeles Lakers are being sold for the second time in a year, this time to businessmen Bob Iger and Josh Kushner, who is the brother of Jared Kushner, who is the son-in-law of President Trump. The reported $12.5 billion deal would set a record for an NBA team. The NBA Board of Governors still has to approve that deal.